Hi guys and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be all about my top 3 or just my favourite eyeshadow palettes that I'm using at the moment. So not really sort of talking about what I consider the best on the market, but the ones that I find that I'm reaching for the most at this time of year and just at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just going to jump into it because you know how much I waffle. So the first one is the Naked Basics palette by Urban Decay, which is this one here. It's a mostly matte palette. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 shades in it and ranging from obviously very light to very dark. The very lightest one, this one here, Venus, is a shimmery one, which is good for highlighting brow bones and inner corners of your eye and stuff like that. Mostly what I've been using is the Naked 2 shade, which is this one here. Well, the way I use it is after sort of priming my eyelids, I put that all over my lid, and I just find that excuse me. And I just find that that gives me a really good base for whatever eyeshadow I plan on using next, whether that's a shimmery one or just a darker colour. And just because, I don't know if you find it, but sometimes when I put like a primer on my eyelid and then I put eyeshadow on, I find the eyeshadow can be a little bit patchy, even if you blend it a lot. So I find if I do this, because that shade pretty much matches my eyelid, it just gives me a really nice soft base to blend the eyeshadow in. So that's what I've been really loving. Just recently, I suppose over the last couple of months, I've been using that. And then what I do sometimes as well, if I want to contour a bit, I'll use the shade Faint, which is the darkest one there. And I will use that just to work in through the crease, which is what I've done today. I don't know if you can see that it's just a little bit darker there, but yeah, that's what I've used, just a little bit. Just, especially if you're going for a dark lip, you don't want to overdo the eyes. I know I've kind of done the eyes a little bit more than normal, but yeah, so anyway, next up is, it's a Chanel Quad, but they don't do palettes. This is their equivalent of a palette. And this is from their autumn collection. It is the Mystery palette, which is number 43. I'm just going to take the sponges out and the guard and all that kind of stuff so you can have a look. What I don't like, I wish they'd open flat so I could like show it to you a bit more easily, but never mind. Excuse me, coughing a lot today. So these are the shades, and from the latest collection. I absolutely love them. I think they're just so beautiful for autumn. They're sort of, I don't know how well you can see, but they're like a deep green. So you've got like this one here is a very shimmery shade. It's very glittery, perfect for underneath the brow bone, and that's how I use it. I mean, you could just dust it all over the lid if you wanted and it would look beautiful, but it is very glittery. And then next there we have a really dark shade, which is a very dark green with a light kind of yellowy goldy kind of glitter running through it. Very small sort of shimmer, but yeah, it's very, very pretty. And then up here, this one is pretty much matte. It's like it's a deep green, kind of like a browny green almost. Massively pigmented. I mean, I'll just go like that, and it doesn't actually look that pigmented on my finger. I thought that swatch would look worse, but yeah, it's really well pigmented, looks absolutely beautiful on. I've been really reaching for this ever since I bought it. Absolutely beautiful. And finally this shade here, on this side, it's a lovely base again, very similar to the one in the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette that I pointed out. Really nice, but just a little bit darker and a little bit of kind of a satin sheen to it. Very pretty, very well pigmented. Really beautiful palette. I absolutely adore it, and I've been wearing at least one of the shades every day since I bought it, usually the sparkly one just for my brow bone. But now this I only bought when I came off my spending ban, which was in April, and I really wanted the Naked 2 palette, but when I kind of really looked at the colours, I thought, do you know, the Naked palette's probably more me because it's just a little bit darker, it's less cool, although I still want the Naked 2 palette, so I still may get that. But I really do like that they now come with a brush instead of like an eyeliner, just because I find that that's more useful and I'm more likely to use it. Because although I'm wearing like a kohl eyeliner today, I don't often wear a kohl liner. Yeah, so absolutely beautiful range of shades and colours. And I have been using this a lot, even though it doesn't look that used. It is really quite used. The colours I tend to go for are either Sin and Sidecar over the whole lid, or just the inner third, and then I tend to use Toasted over kind of the rest of the lid, and then Hustle like through the crease or on like the outer third and through the crease, or the outer V. And then sometimes I will darken it with Creep as well. They're the colours I tend to use. I haven't used the matte ones, which are Naked and Buck, which are these two here. They're not touched. The only sort of use that they've had is for a swatch. Yeah, but I really like it. Dark Horse is a beautiful colour as well. It's really nice. That's really nice actually. Something I've been doing a little bit differently, and I've done today as well, is where I've put sort of like a black kohl eyeliner on like the outer third of my eye. I've almost set it with a powder on top, and what I've used, actually, I'll just pick it back up again, is out of the Chanel quad, it's this dark colour here. I've just kind of patted that on top, just sort of a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of depth, and it really helps keep the kohl liner fixed in place, because I don't know about you, but I have really oily skin, and I find that kohl liner, when I do things like that, tends to melt a lot and sort of move down, and it's not a good look. But if I set it with like an eyeshadow, something that's a similar colour, it really helps. So that's what I've been using that one for. Yeah, but absolutely beautiful palette, and it goes so well with autumn as well. I think the three that I've picked today are really good ones for this time of year, because personally, this time of year I tend to, as we sort of move into autumn, wear darker lipstick. If you're wondering, by the way, this is MAC Rebel. So I tend to wear like darker lipstick. I actually get brave and do that. And I, yeah, wear sort of more neutral eyes, just kind of, I suppose it's kind of like matching the leaves, you know, kind of browny colours. And yeah, I just kind of go for that kind of look. Sometimes I'll just do a nice light eye and sort of nude lips as well, but these are definitely what I'm really leaning for at the moment. And they're all really nice, they're all amazing quality. I know they're all high-end, as just sort of an equivalent, if you can't afford the Naked palette, because it took me a long time to decide to fork out the money for it, the MUA Undressed palette is a really good dupe for it. It's not quite the same, like the colour range is identical, the quality isn't exactly the same, and the colours aren't on all of them exactly the same, but they're really close, and it's only £4, whereas this was like what, £34, £36, so there's a massive price difference. I like this because it's the Urban Decay Naked palette, and I think a lot of people have an Urban Decay Naked palette, and I wanted one as well, and it is lovely. But yeah, if you can't afford it, the MUA Undressed palette is a brilliant dupe. I don't know if I've got a dupe for the Naked Basics palette. I think MUA, I don't know if they've actually brought it out yet, but they're doing a matte palette, which is all neutrals as well. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. Cool shades at the top, darker shades at the bottom. So when that comes out, that will only be £4 as well, but I can't really talk about the pigmentation on it because I haven't seen it. I haven't like seen it in real life, but I have seen a swatch online. It looked pretty good. And the Chanel one, I've got no idea any dupe for that. It's in a world of its own, I think. Yeah. So that one you'd need to pay for, but I don't think it was too crazy. Well, I think it's about £30, something like that, which, you know, we're looking at the same price as the Urban Decay Naked palette, and you only get 4 shades, but they are beautiful and the quality is amazing. And with the Chanel eyeshadows as well, they work really well if they're applied wet. So if you just get one of the sponge tips or a brush and you just kind of wet it and apply it, they're very, very intense. Really, really, really pretty. So anyway, I'm starting to waffle again now, so it's time for me to sign off. But thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, don't forget to hit subscribe as well. But yeah, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Bye!